Hey, 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 hey. Welcome everybody to back to Bad Film Good, the podcast where we look at poorly rated movies and we ask the question, is this bad film good? My name is Declan.
I'm Hayden.
And today, after that shit show of an intro, we will be looking at Pixels. Maybe the intro got pixelated. All right, well, before we get into that, Hayden, why don't you tell us what is Pixel Shrekking this week?
Well, good news, everyone, because do you want to buy a slice of the rights to the Shrek soundtrack? Yes.
Sure, yes.
This is from Musical.ly, and if you do, it's your lucky day. As long as you've got 2.3 million to spare, you can buy a slice of the rights to the Shrek movie franchise. That includes all 4 films and its holiday TV special.
The hell? I mean, they must make a lot of royalties off of that. So that isn't much, surely.
I got the specific slice of rights being sold generated just over 235k in the last 12 months. So it's no surprise that it's going for 2.3 million, really, because that's a juicy income. If you keep it for a few years, then yeah. As ever with these auctions, the numbers published alongside it are pretty interesting. The particular set of rights generated 159 million in 2016 before a big jump to 214.8 million in 2017, then fell back down to 161.6 million in 2018 before growing again
a lot
to
of numbers.
100. Yeah, and it keeps going. That's basically the whole article. Obviously, that's not the slice of rights. That's the whole thing. But still, you know, if you fancy spending 2.3 million...
Yeah, if you've got that lying around to get some rights and make a lot less money back over time.
Yeah, I mean, it's pocket
well, over
change,
time.
really.
Yeah.
Like, for us podcasters, that's nothing, is it? So
yeah, that's true. We make many money.
I'm unemployed.
Right, well, I'm not, so let's carry on.
Anyway,
why don't we just launch straight into the film, shall we?
Yes, please.
So yeah, this week we're going to be looking at Pixels. It's another Adam Sandler special.
Yep, we love it.
We watched it on, what was it, Amazon Prime, right?
Yep.
Yeah, which describes it as being an unlikely group of former 80s video game champions step up to save the world from an alien invasion in this visually spectacular action adventure. Which is, yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. I mean, doesn't really give away much else, but yeah.
Well, that's the film basically. There's not much else to it, really.
Yeah, but well, I mean, give us a rundown.
Well, okay, so basically, young Adam Sandler is good at games, but so is young Peter Dinklage. So they have a fist fight, and then Peter Dinklage wins. Then it's the future, and Adam Sandler's friend Kevin James is now the president. Adam Sandler then goes into a woman's house to set up a TV, but then they bang. Anyway, they go to the White House together because it turns out aliens have the powers to turn things into little cubes. So Adam Sandler and the snowman from Frozen trained some Navy SEALs into how to defeat them because they used to play Pac-Man. They go to London, then the Navy SEALs aren't very good at shooting Pac-Man, you know, the trained Navy SEALs. They're not very good, so instead Adam Sandler and the snowman from Frozen play instead, and they win. Then they play Pac-Man again, but Tokyo Drift style, and
nice.
And they win again, which is all very good. But then if they find out that Peter Dinklage cheated, and so that means they broke the undefined, poorly explained rules that the aliens made, and they're pretty pissed about it. But then Adam Sandler fights Donkey Kong and cheats anyway, and then they win, and everyone kisses at the end, and then he bangs the woman again.
Yeah, that's my kind of film.
It was made.
It's really not far off.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on. Yeah.
It was made in 2015, directed by Chris Columbus. Stars Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Steve Buscemi, and Peter Dinklage. It had a budget of 88 million, and it made just over 244 million. That's pretty good, I say, for this.
Yeah.
It's got 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, and only 27 Metal Crickets liked it. But look, I'm Adam Sandler, and I'm bored, and also I like video games. So here's 88
You're looking to make
million.
another film, another Adam Sandler, fucking just like chucking out a film.
Yeah, and here's 88 million to do it. So what have you got for me?
All right, so here's my pitch. Adam Sandler gets wingmanned by a kid who wants him to bang his mum, while he fights off fun aliens and dumb British army men. Josh Gad also bangs a little orange ball with legs. Pixels.
Yeah,
Coming to about near you.
I kind of forgot. Yeah, the kid is like, please bang my mum, please.
Like the next time he's like seen this kid twice.
Yeah,
I mean we'll get to that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, yeah. Should we just get into it straight away? Should we get in some real dumb shit about the film?
Some real dumb shit. Skibbity bop. We're still doing that.
That's our thing now.
That's the thing now. Skibbity dumb shit.
So the film starts right, and it's in the past, or maybe present day, and then the rest of the film is in the future. Who knows?
In the future, yeah. Who knows? Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's yet another film where another Adam Sandler film where we start with a young Adam Sandler,
yeah,
who's doing some stuff that will become relevant later.
Yeah, what do they do? They go to an arcade. And Kevin James is like, "Oh, I suck at video games, but you're really good." And Adam Sandler's like, "Oh, jeez." So then they just suddenly, it's really quick. They're in this arcade, and then he's like, "Oh, you're really good. Why don't you enter in the World Championships of the fucking game off or whatever?"
Yeah,
and
it's very like. Again, it's that sort of thing where it just goes really, really quick.
It's like they could have just done it with one sentence. They should have just had Adam Sandler as like a young kid, and then like a voiceover being like, "He likes games," and then it just cuts to the future. Because really, like, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
the story doesn't matter, especially when it comes to the Adam Sandler movies.
But the first problem that I had with this was the reason why the aliens come in the future to fight them is because they are recording the game tournament so that NASA can send the recording to space.
Yeah,
why?
So they're recording the actual tournament, right? Not just like the gameplay of this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's not like they've recorded the screen or something which is kind of, weird.
Yeah. So they're just recording, and it's like the arcade games as well. So it's just a big box with someone like jagging a stick about. That's all they can see, unless they actually like film the screen, and it's just like really blurry because you know when you try and film a TV screen and you just can't tell what it is. It's out of focus. So the aliens are just like, what is that?
I want to fight them.
Yeah, I'm going to fight them with boxes? Is that a box? Is it you just jiggle a stick in a box? I don't get it.
It'd be a very different film if they were all just
they were just
like arcade machines that fell from the sky and crushed people. And that was it.
They just they fall from the sky and they're like, "Fight me!" And then someone just pushes it over. Like, yeah, okay.
It's like the old Daleks where you beat them with some stairs.
But I was just like,
it'd be a very different kind of film.
Why, if this is like they're hoping that this is their first contact with aliens, so aliens see this. Why a gaming of all things? Like, why did they pick the World Arcade Gaming Championship? Like, not
again,
not something more popular, like basketball, like because it's in the States, right? Like, surely,
yeah. I mean, they probably put like other things in there, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. At the same time, it's like just they're putting it in a capsule and they're shooting into space. There we go. That's the reasoning, you know.
But it's just like, yeah, I mean that this whole if there was ever a film where the story doesn't matter, this is that film. Like, it's really like loose because then they have they do like which is important later, but a young Adam Sandler and young Peter Dinklage, they have like a fight to see who's the best at Donkey Kong. Because it's like the one game that Adam Sandler is not bad at. He's like the second best in the world, which again is important later. But he's still pretty good, but Peter Dinklage is just better.
Because he has this whole thing, doesn't he, where he's like, oh, you've just got to see like the patterns in the games, and Adam Sandler's character is really good at just kind of understanding those patterns. Because he'll be playing one thing and then somebody's like, you've never even played this game before, and he's like destroying it. And he's like, you've just got to see the patterns. Yeah. And I noted that at the time when I was watching it, I noted it down. I was just like, this will return later. Like, it's very obvious.
But if he's that good at patterns, because in the future, I'm jumping a bit ahead of myself. In the future, he's like some guy that sets up TVs, like he's just some lowlife. And the whole thing is like, oh, you only played video games with your childhood, so you never amounted to anything. But it's like he can instantly see the pattern of a game without ever seeing it before. Like, surely he's some,
I think
super genius.
He's
very smart.
I think another character says that to him at some point. It's the lady that says to him, like, you could have done. You could, instead of doing this, you could be doing like analytics and you could be doing all this kind of stuff. And he's just like, yeah.
Well, no, because she says the thing.
I think it's like later.
Yeah, but the thing she says is you could be inventing your own electronics.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's a bit of a jump. Like, he likes games,
but yeah,
so he can invent his own electronic.
He sees the patterns in. He like sees everything like a Lego manual, and he can see how to like put items together that don't exist. And he's like, it's just a pattern.
But I was like, because going back to the past or whatever. And Peter Dinklage beats him.
With his fists.
Yeah, he beats the living shit out of him.
They're playing Donkey Kong, he just starts punching him. And that's what they send up to the aliens, that's why they're so violent. Yeah. It's just a video of Peter Dinklage beating up.
Yeah, they don't even edit
young
that
Adam
bit
Sandler.
Out. They only send that clip. It's just Peter Dinklage beating up young Adam Sandler.
Like breaking his nose.
There's blood everywhere.
Send that up.
Quick, send it up. Spend millions. But I was just like, they do the thing as like they're both playing Donkey Kong, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, come on, I'm getting it. Yeah, come on, whoa!" And then you like, they both finish it or whatever, but you never see the scores. Like,
yeah, that's
at
true.
no point are you like, "Oh, he's winning," or "Peter Dinklage is better," or Adam Sandler's losing, or whatever.
Yeah, you never see Dinklage's score.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, congratulations on losing,
on sucking ass.
Yeah. But it's like, wait, and then the guy's like, yep, Peter Dinklage wins, but he doesn't check. He's just like, oh, he said he won. We give him the prize.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it just moves on really, really quick.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, you lost, and he's like, and then he leaves, and then it's like sad. Oh, but he meets Josh Gad's character.
Oh yeah,
when he's younger, and he just has this thing where he's like, because he's called like the Wonder Kid because he's really good or whatever at games, and one of them says to him like, "Do you have any friends?" And he's like, "Just my grandma." And he turns around and you see her like over holding his lunch or something, like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh, it's like sad but wholesome at the same time," But and Dan Aykroyd was hosting just a random small cameo. He was hosting the
really
the thing. Yeah.
How did
I
not notice that?
Do you not notice? There's I'll come back to it later, but there's a reason that I think that they,
I know exactly what
you know exactly where I'm going. Yeah. So there's a reason I think that they were like, oh, we'll have you host this if we do something for you.
That makes so. I mean, we could talk about it now if you want. Like,
I want to give a little suspense.
Right, okay.
People will find out what it is when we get in. Keep them hooked.
God, he's so good. It's why he's the host and I'm just the lowly whatever I do.
Now, Aiden, we are co-hosts. What are you talking about?
You're like winking to the... Yeah. You're like, we're equals. We're equals. And then you like stare to the camera. You're just like...
I just stare to the mic because there's no camera.
Yeah. I'm like, hello? What are you...
I'm like, yeah, we do as much work as each other. We put into this podcast. Don't listen to me. I'm just kidding.
I'm the real host.
He can't hear me. Only you can hear me, don't worry about it.
I'm going to fire him. As soon as we get to episode 10, I'm firing him.
And then I'm like, welcome back with me, Declan. And then I just completely silent till the end of the episode because I'm waiting for you to say and me, Aiden.
No, it's like...
It's just never a response.
Silence for an hour and then you're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh. I just cut the recording. Oh.
So anyway,
yeah.
So then it's
Peter Dinklage's name, by the way, is he's not his name, but he gives himself the title Fire Blaster. Is it Fire Blaster?
Yeah, Fire Blaster.
And everyone's just like, that sucks.
Yeah.
And you suck.
They're like, you're a piece of shit, and no one likes you. And he's like, yeah, totally tubular.
Yes, totally tubular.
Yeah,
I'm the Fire Blaster.
Yeah. And again, we'll get into that a bit later.
But again, we'll go. Yeah. But we have an interesting transition between past and present, or present and future, as you pointed out, where they're just having like a conversation, and then the conversation gets kind of carried on suddenly with an older version of actual, Adam Sandler
and Kevin James.
But the conversation topic is literally just hot, famous women that would bang, and they're just listing them off, which is a very Adam Sandler movie type thing to do.
It made me laugh that bit as well because it was like, because I can't remember who they're saying when they're younger, because it's like the 80s, right? So they're
right, yeah,
like 80s
people like topical people at the time,
yeah, and then it cuts to the future, and they're like, what about Scarlett Johansson? And he's like, yeah, I'd bang her. And I was like, yep, hope she wins.
Yeah. She's like, I'm also going to sue Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Oh no.
But again, same as what I was saying with That's My Boy, where they have this joke where they're listing off these hot famous women that they would bang, and then Adam Sandler is like, man, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
He's like, we're like 30 years old, man. Why are we still doing this? Oh wow, further into their 30s, but
But because then it's revealed Kevin James has become the president.
I love that reveal because you have no they're just chatting, they're just in a pub, they just sat there, and then Kevin James is like, it's just all this extra work with my job. It's really putting strain between me and the wife.
Yeah.
We need to take, and of course, you get the kind of thing where Adam Sandler says something which you can safely assume is probably one of the messages of the film. Maybe, I don't know. It kind of goes in a couple directions, but he's like, just turn off your phone half an hour in a day. Just turn off your phone, turn off your thing, turn off that, and just spend time with your loved ones. And then, you see a video on the TV of the president. I don't know why they'd broadcast it. Again, it's so dumb. It's just a video of the president reading to some kids, but he can't read that well. He's just messing up these words, and the kids are trying to prompt him.
Which
and
again,
he's shut up, little kid.
Again, one of the kids is Adam Sandler's daughter, which I think is cute as well. I like how he does that. How he just includes them, and they're always
he's free child labor.
Yeah. But they always play the little kid that's like, you're stupid, I hate you, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was like, nice. But I was just like, he's the president. How? How has he gotten into that position? Oh, well, I guess, not to get political, Donald Trump was president. But I was like, he can't read. How has he worked his way up into...
I mean,
the
story doesn't matter. I mean, yeah. Oh well.
I was just like,
it was very. I was like, oh, he's. At first, I thought because the bar thing at the bottom on the news kind of recording was like, oh, presidential. What did you call it? It's like a presidential scheme to get kids reading more or something in schools. And I thought he was a teacher that was on the news reading to the kids as part of the presidential scheme, and then. When they were kind of like laughing about it, and then it does the reverse shot on Kevin James's character, and he has like all of the bodyguards behind him at the bar, and I thought that was quite funny because it just was unexpected, and I was like, "Oh no, he's the president."
Yeah, I thought.
Yikes!
I thought he was like the president's secretary.
Secretary, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm Kevin James. I can't fucking...
Hey guys, it's Kevin James.
But anyway.
Let's not keep Young there. He comes into this later.
Yeah.
Again, though, Sandler plays a very similar sort of character to what he usually does. He's kind of... I mean, he's not as disgusting as his character from That's My Boy, but he's... It's always kind of like a rags to riches, but not necessarily in terms of money. You know, he's always kind of down on his luck. He's just working a standard, probably 9 to 5 or something. I mean, I don't know. He's on call and stuff with his whatever job he's got. People always pointing out, you know, you're just a tech guy that fixes stuff. Which, by the way, if you're a tech guy that fixes stuff, then cool. Like, just do whatever. But that's kind of what he also gets across, because he has that bit later when he's talking to the woman in this like mansion where he's just setting up this massive TV and everything for this kid, and then he's kind of having this thing back and forth, and he kind of points out like, yeah, like, so what, like, oh, would you kiss me if I was some rich dude on a yacht with some champagne and stuff? And she was like, and he's like, yeah, that's what I thought.
He's like, yeah, bye, snobby.
But
I was like, the bit where they first interact, because he's got such a weird relationship with that kid. Like,
he does. He always does the sort of thing in his films, I think.
Yeah, like the kid's always like, yeah, bang my mom.
Yeah,
but like he goes in and the kid opens it. Who again? This is like a trend of all these films, but the kid's just written like an adult again.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, come in, set up, we're doing all this. And I think he says like, oh, is it your birthday? And he's like, no, my parents are getting divorced, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then the woman, I can't remember, she just comes in and he's like, whoa.
The mum.
Yeah, the mum. She comes in and he's like, whoa. And she's like, what? Whoa, what? And then instead of being like any normal person, just be like, oh, I meant like, whoa, that TV's massive. Whoa.
Or be like, sorry, my brain broke a second, and now I'm going to do this.
Or even just being like, oh, nothing, don't worry about it. He's just like, whoa, because whoa is in your body so hot. Oh, get up in your body. And, oh, God, whoa. I wish I brushed my teeth because I want to kiss you. And she's just like,
yeah.
And then she's just like, oh, haha. Not like, get out. You fucking creep.
Because he's
I'll
like,
get someone else.
Because he's like, oh, when your kid here explained to me your life story and said that his dad's going off with some 19-year-old. What was she, like a maid, or was she like a something? I don't know.
All I remember is her name's Cinnamon with an S, which I thought was funny.
Oh, but yeah, some like young thing. He's like had an affair and he's going off and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, so I thought if you'd being divorced, then I thought you were going to be an ugly old lady or something. But wow, like he just has no social sense.
And talk about judging a book by its cover. Like his whole thing is like, oh, just because I'm a tech man doesn't mean doesn't mean you shouldn't love me or whatever. And he's like, oh, I thought you'd be ugly and disgusting, but look at you,
be all flabby.
Yeah. Look at you, you're perfect. I want to get up in there. You know, I was just like, fucking hell, man.
But he does again. He always does that in his films. That's just the way he like. It's that kind of direct humor. It's that very like almost meta kind of. His character just has no kind of always breaks that kind of social barrier. Just being like, this is what's happening in my brain, and I have no filter about it.
And he does like he always does that thing.
But I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, I like it as well. It's like the line when I'm trying to think of a better example, but the line where he's like, "Would you like me if I had a boat? No, you wouldn't, snobby." And he keeps calling her snobby and stuff.
Yeah.
Like keeps having this and throwing in like weird references to stuff when he's like referring to people.
Oh yeah, the classic kind of pop culture.
Yeah,
he calls the like young, probably like an intern guy or whoever it is, calls him like Zac Efron or like
who again,
Blue Lagoon and stuff. Yeah,
funny. That guy, the Zac Efron guy, that's his son.
Oh, that is his son. Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I was like, okay, this is gonna be his son or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Which again, I was just like, fair enough. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, I just thought that was funny. But yeah, like I like that thing. I like he does it in every single one of his films where he's like, "Whoa, look out, muchacho! Whoa, oh, Scarface over here!" That sort of thing.
Yeah. But it's always the kind of witty. That's the thing. He plays very similar characters that are always the kind of witty, like
yeah.
Usually, anyway. But yeah, and he kind of, and again, kind of with that no social sense. I mean, I don't know if it's maybe different in people are a bit more relaxed about it in America, but he's just walking around the house. Like, she disappears for a bit. He's like fixed up the TV, and he's like, "Oh, I just need you to sign some papers." So he just like makes his way up to her room, like just having a look around, trying to find her. And I was like, this is some person's house that you're just walking in. Like, I don't know, get the kid to go find her or something. He just goes and finds her in this closet and then goes into the closet like, "Let me sit down, have some beers."
Let me sit down. Why are you crying? Put your arm around my shoulder. Or kiss you on the neck. That sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's just it's very strange. And then she just kind of everything just kind of moves very quickly and unrealistically because she just opens up to this stranger, telling about all their woes, and they just sat there drinking together, and then they're kind of, he says, "Oh, maybe we've both got to find the right person now," and then they're like staring into each other's eyes, and then he goes to kiss her, and she's like, "The fuck? What the fuck do you think you're doing? No."
And he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like all of these,
he's like, "I thought we were having a moment," and she was like, "We were."
And he's like, "Well, so why are you angry at me?"
But that's, like we were saying, that's when he says about the whole thing, like, "Oh, if I went in for a kiss, but I was a rich guy on a yacht, like, would you do it then?" And she kind of didn't have an answer for him. But it's just funny that, like, as rich as he is, the actual, like, Sandler, most of his films are about not needing to be all kind of high class and fancy, or at least a lot of them, like, not needing to be high class and fancy and rich. And
I do like,
it has that message of, like, what's more important is kind of deeper, more social things, and kind of the more kind of what do they call it, like there's a term for it, I can't remember, but like a deeper kind of happiness than just like money and blah blah blah. But at the same time, maybe he could say that because he's rich, so he already has money. Like it's a nice sentiment, but he does also,
well, I mean, he seems like a nice guy, and now that I've said that, something will come up about him. And
no, don't curse it. But I mean, I've not looked into his life. I don't know what he's done, so maybe. But I think he's fine. He's
like this multi-billionaire, but yet he still chooses to wear baggy t-shirts and jorts, like out and about. Like that's his get-up, and he's not changed it. He's like, "I'm gonna wear jorts," and that's his thing. And props to you, Adam Sandler.
And he just does what, like I said, I think I said this ages ago, where with Uncut Gems, when he was like, "If I don't get an award for this, I'm going to make another shit film." Like, he just knows, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll just make films." And he just seems like he's just enjoying himself.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't seen Uncut Gems. Is it good?
No, I need to watch that as well. Yeah. Been too busy watching all these poorly rated movies. To watch anything else good.
But then we have the reveal of, like, I've written Adam Sampler.
Oh, we've had so many mispronunciations. I was saying to Aiden earlier that I put Adam Sandler. There's just so many variations.
Madam Sandler. Yeah, so Adam Sandler is like, it's revealed that he's... Oh no, it's revealed at the start, right? So he gets a call from Kevin James, and for some reason he's like, yeah, just come to the White House. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm the president, I can do what I want. And you have the reveal of, like, she's following him because he's all like, oh, you're so snobby. And then you're like, oh, they're going to the same place. Because
she's driving a car that looks very much like a government official kind of...
Yeah. I mean, like, from her side, you'd be like, why are you going to the White House? But
yeah, because he's driving his like his big bright orange tech van.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe he's going on a job to install some TVs. You never know.
Yeah.
For the White House.
Install more security cameras in the White House.
Yeah. But you have that reveal, and I was like, that's fine, I guess. But surely you wouldn't just be like, yeah, this pedestrian can just come into the White House.
Like, yeah. Again,
like, he can come into the war room. He can come into the president's office.
Oval Office. Yeah.
I was just like, look, I know it's stupid. And also, if the president's like, yeah, this pedestrian, he can sit in my chair, then I guess, like, would they let you?
Probably. I don't know.
If Joe Biden was like, hey, I know you, come sit in my desk, would they be like, no? Sorry, sir, but no.
Yeah, or maybe they'd have to do like just extreme security checks and stuff every time. But yeah, I see what you mean, because like it is that weird thing where it's the white, and it feels like one of those things with his character. Like Adam Sandler always has a character that's kind of outside of everything. Like in That's My Boy, where like he wasn't part of like the whole upper class and everything, but he could make them all laugh, and he was everybody's favorite person, and you can always, he's almost like made allowances for and stuff. So in this, it feels the same way, where he's just the average Joe, but then he just drives up to the White House and he knows everybody there, and he's like, hey Larry, you can let me in, and then Larry's like, hey, come on in, guy, and then he's talking to the security guards like, oh, Freddie, keep out the riffraff, and goes and speaks to the president because it's his best friend. So it's kind of weird. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to find out, but that's how it goes in this anyway. He just walks his way, because they kind of have like a competition almost with him and this woman, where they're both walking along and they're both like, oh, you're not important enough, and then they say to her, oh, you're needed in the war room or the planning room, whatever it is.
She's like,
and she's like, hey, it looks like I'm important. And they say, oh, the president's waiting for you, to him, and he's like, looks like I'm more important.
Yeah, it does a moonwalk.
It does a moonwalk. Yeah. So dumb.
That bit's funny as well, because it's like, oh, we've been attacked in Guam or something.
It's their military base in Guam. Yeah. I think it's Guam.
Somewhere like that, and they're like, oh,
it makes me think of guacamole. But
and he's like, games. Do you recognize this game? Because I recognized it as a game. And he's like, yeah, I recognize this game. It's that game. That's why I called you in here. Thanks. Goodbye. And
it's very weird.
But then they go into the war room, and they're all saying like, "Oh, who could have done this? No country has the ability,
the military
to
technology,
to objects." And then the classic Adam Sandler move. There's an old racist man, and he's like, "Except for Iran."
Yeah, because when they all sit down, he's like. And they do this at a lot of whenever they have like the big kind of meeting thing, and all the American kind of government officials will sit down, and then they're like, "It must be Moscow. It's the Iranians. It's the Chinese." Or whatever.
Yeah.
They just like spout out like the biggest kind of opposition to America.
They're like, it's our enemy at the time. It must be.
Yeah. But then. Yeah, I mean, then Adam Sandler kind of comes in and does his spiel, and they're like, who's this guy in the orange shorts? And he's throwing around insults at all of the government officials, calling them Blue Lagoon, and telling the the general guy that he'll see him in a residential home and all this kind of stuff. But it is kind of weird because they just, I don't know. They just very quickly, I guess they very quickly kind of accept and just say, oh, it's aliens. But then even before then, like President Kevin, that's what I call him, President Kevin, he's talking to the room and they're saying, oh, it's the Chinese, it's the this, it's the that. And then he's like, it's Gallagher. Is it Gallagher? Or is it
Gallagher, yeah, that's it. As in the game.
As in the Oasis brothers. But they're like, okay, so what? He's like, yeah, it's Gallagher. What kind of, how did you reach this? Like, what does it mean? And they're just kind of like, oh yeah, it's a video game, look. Yeah, but I don't know, it's just weird because you're like, in real life, you'd be like, yeah, but okay, so what are you talking about? So you think it's, I mean, they do say, oh, it might be drones, but nobody has this kind of technology. And then,
but they just sort of go on. They're like, when he's like, yeah, it's an old video game, and then they kind of do the first off. They're like, oh, what are you talking about? It's not a video game. And then he's like, yeah, no, it is. And they're like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
And they're like, oh, but it's a specific version of the video game from the early 80s, something, and blah blah blah. But all of this is really cool, and etc. etc. So then
some bullshit, doesn't matter, basically.
But they send. I mean, they kind of they send him out, and Sandler's character there leaves and gets fucking jumped by Josh Gad. We just call them all by their actors now. I don't remember the characters' names. It don't matter. Yeah. The Wonder Boy, Wonder Kid, whatever he's called. But it's the grown up version of the Wonder Kid, Wonder Boy.
Olaf.
Played by yeah, of course. I didn't realize that he voiced him. So when you said that in the summary thing, I was like, what?
I just threw it in to be like, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start throwing in like random
other characters they've played or voiced. yeah. But yeah. So he's just been in his van the whole time, and he like jumps in to then tell him like the same stuff. I like the joke. I don't know why it wasn't even that funny. It's just silly because he's this kind of conspiracy nut, but he's also really smart and he can hack into things and all this kind of stuff. And he's saying about like he's not been on the run, but he's like, I don't know, been laying low or something. He's like laying low ever since he discovered that the real footage behind JFK's murder. And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, he shot first? Like JFK shot first? I was like, what?
I found that so funny.
It's such a weird. I like the idea that George Lucas covered it up.
Yeah.
Re-edited the footage.
I just like his character because he's, him being crazy is just an excuse for them to just say the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like later on, he's doing like a toast or something. And he's like, yeah, congratulations, we did it. Thanks to the US government, who are hiding a giant pyramid under Hoover Dam. And everyone's just like, the fuck?
There's like a moment of everybody going, huh? And then it just carries on.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
But it's like, of course, he's the kind of conspiracy nut. He lives in his grandma's basement. You have the bit where the grandma calls down and asks if he got this thing from the shop. And he's like, no, grandma, I'm trying to save the freaking world. Go away.
Yeah. You old hag. That sort of shit. But they like that. This is the bit that, well, there's many bits, but this was the first instance where I was like, okay, this is actually just fucking stupid. Because they're like, okay, cool. What we're going to do is we're going to gather a bunch of Navy SEALs, like trained, best of the best
Navy SEAls family. We are Navy SEAls. This is what we
Dom
do.
Toretto's like, they're like, Dom, we need you. And he's like, I retired to have a family, don't you remember? I did some babysitting, and now I want a family. They're like, but Dom, we need you.
I don't play video games.
But you're the best of the best. No, I can't. I'm having a family. I think I might go for a drive. And then it's this is again a prequel. Yeah. This is a prequel. This is in between. So the pacifier happens, and then this happens, and then Fast One,
and
happens.
then then Fast One happens. Just because the connection is Navy SEALs.
Because Dom Toretto's wife in the pacifier, the military one, she's like, "Oh, I'll help," and then she gets killed.
Yeah, she gets killed by the pixel aliens.
Revenge on technology, and that's why he steals the VCRs in Fast One.
Oh my god, it makes sense.
Yeah,
it all comes together, and there's no plot holes or anything in between all of that. All of it makes complete sense. Nobody tell us otherwise, because we will not believe you.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, they must have done like a deep fake thing or something with because they have all of these old videos. You've got like Ronald Reagan, you've got young Madonna, because it's like all stuff from the time that would have been sent with the video game stuff, like in a time capsule up to the aliens. So that's what they use to communicate. They use these videos of them like saying stuff, and obviously like it's clearly dubbed over, but they kind of, I don't know, they did it in a way that looks like semi-believable, and I was kind of, because I was trying to look at it to be like, can you kind of clearly see the deep fake? I think sometimes you can see the lips, they can look weird, but like, I think because of the way, the TV's all fuzzy and all this kind of stuff, they can kind of hide it under that.
Some of them look better than the others. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like the Ronald Reagan. Sorry, I'm going to start that again because I just messed up every single word. I'm Kevin James.
No, yeah, carry on. Keep it in.
Yeah. No, but they like, the Ronald Reagan one is decent, like that passes. But then there's another one. It's I can't remember who it is. It's the guy from Indiana Jones, I think, or something. I can't remember.
I can't remember who the person actually was, but I think I know which bit you're talking about.
Yeah, but then some of them are like, they look like, that fucking, is it a TikTok filter or something where they like mask someone's face over the image, so it look really weird. And I was like, that's
exactly. Like it's kind of hit and miss.
Yeah. But in that bit, I was like, so their plan is to train Navy SEALs how to play old 80s video games. Not like, so these games work like this, so you're going to have to move like this and shoot these things, let's do some target practice. They're like, I know, we'll get these two pedestrians, we'll teach them how to play some video games, and then we'll just send them off with these light cannons.
We'll just do it.
And I was like, that's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, because, I mean, would it not be easier? See, originally I made the note saying, like, why are they getting Navy SEALs to do this? If they think it's alien video games or whatever, then get people who know how to play video games and they understand them and stuff to and kind of train them up in whatever. But then I realized, okay, so the point is, they need the Navy SEALs because they're trained at, shooting things well.
Yeah.
In terms of this context. So, like, that's why they've got them and they're training them to do the video games. But it just seems, it's kind of weird.
Well, because their plan is like, they've invented...
But I suppose they don't know what to expect. But then, that's the thing, it's so vague with being like, oh, these aliens, they've destroyed some stuff already, and now they're going to... Like, they destroyed like that base, and now... They've announced they're going to attack somewhere else, but you don't know what it is, so they just train them up in some video games.
But it was like, that, as far as you know, or, well, we'll get to it later. So they invent these light cannons, as they're called. They're like, oh, so this is the only thing that can destroy them because they just eat up matter. So we fire this light beam, this vague light beam, into them, and then they die, right? So then they're like, we're going to make these guns, and you're going to shoot at whatever comes out, right? But to train, you've got to play the video game. Not just like, let's practice with these guns and do target practice. Because later on,
because also like, they don't. It's not like they know what game it's going to be anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And and if like, I mean, we'll get to it more later, but they go to London because that's where the next thing has happened.
That's like the third place,
which is also they do the thing where everyone's accents is.
Oh my god, I noted that down. They're all that. Like. They're all just like, oh, spiffing, tally-ho, poppycock.
I do love that.
Yeah. I suppose we definitely, probably do the same to Americans.
Stuff because Sean Bean's there and he's doing his Sean Bean Northern voice.
I did not know that he was in this film. It was a very pleasant surprise.
And he's like, he's in a very northern accent. He's like, anyone who doesn't need a beer, follow me. But
fuck off.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say that because he puts so much emphasis on the F. He's like, anyone who doesn't need a beer, fuck off.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, nice.
Nice one, Sean Bean. I'm surprised he didn't die in this because he does normally die in his
films. I know.
I
was fully expecting it. But so the aliens come. They're like, oh shit, yeah, we're going to attack London. And it's a game called Centipede, which I'd never heard of before. But it's a simple premise. But they're like, shoot the heads, otherwise it'll split into two, and then you've got two centipedes to deal with, and then etc.
etc.
And I was like, how are these trained Navy SEALs, best of the best, not able to hit a moving target?
Yeah, because he's like, don't shoot them in the middle, and then they're like all panicking.
Yeah.
Like, predict whether because they're turning all the time. Every time they hit like one of these little floating kind of balls in the air, they change direction. And all the Navy SEALs are just like firing everywhere. And he's like, no, you gotta shoot them in the face.
I was like, how are these? Like, these are meant to be the best soldiers that America has to offer. And they can't hit a moving target. They can't predict where a moving target's going to be. Like, they've never been trained for that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because, of course, then Adam Sandler and Olaf from Frozen is like, because they played the game. Because they played the game and they were able to press the button to shoot in time with the caterpillar, they can then suddenly pick up a light cannon and fire it directly into the face and be like really good. And I was like, oh, really? Come on, he's like, man.
Because I learned the patterns.
Yeah. I learned the patterns. I'm really good at it, and I can fire a gun. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, I know it doesn't matter, but I was just like, oh.
It's a kind of cheesy thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta say though, the visuals are really good.
Yeah,
with really all the pixels and stuff, like they do look really good, and they kind of look pretty believable within, especially whenever like they come into contact with something and they pixelize it. You kind of, it does feel real within the surroundings, so it's quite good.
Yeah, and especially for like 88 million, like that sounds like a lot, but for a film in 2015, that's like a mid-budget film. It's not like a crazy, and for a lot of special effects, I'd expect like a lot more. When I looked up the budgets, I was like, whew, this might be a big old flop because it looks like it was expensive. But no, like, made a pretty good profit. Worldwide profit was pretty good. So
yeah, 100%.
I was like, damn.
But I've got a note here as well that says that the news anchor who reports on, I think it's before they do the Centipede thing and they fight it, it's when they're kind of getting ready, because you got the American president set with the British Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And I think on the British TV it's like showing all the dumb stuff that the president's doing. It's kind of like taking the cat. Yeah. But the news anchor there, the male news anchor, I don't know if he does a lot of things for like British news anchors in TV and film and stuff, because he was in Shaun of the Dead. He was the one who was like,
oh really?
Yeah, he was the one who was like removing the head and destroying the brain.
That's cool. I wonder if he's actually a news anchor. Like, I don't.
Oh, to be fair, yeah, I just assumed that he was. He just had that demeanor. So
Yeah.
Either he's just good at acting, or he is actually.
Yeah.
I thought
Who knows?
yeah. Don't know. I
There's
thought
no way
recognised
to
him,
tell.
Yeah,
But
who
anyway.
knows? But yeah, and then the centipede. So the last like centipede runs off during that fight, which I was kind of like, again, the rules are very lax, because I was like, that's not part of it though, surely? So is he allowed to do that?
Is he allowed
Is he allowed to just go off?
Yeah.
Because, but again, I mean, I feel like Adam Sandler again always has a joke with an old lady.
Yeah.
This time, thankfully, the old lady didn't get like eaten or slapped around or anything. She was just completely oblivious to everything that was going on. But I did think that the joke was lame. With it, Centipede goes in and it goes past the old lady in the room, but she's doing like a yoga exercise thing, and it's one where it's kind of like, you know, you're moving side to side and waving your arms around, whatever. And then the Centipede just stops and looks at the TV and then just starts like doing the movements as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's not really. It's just like there for this. It just has no relevance to anything. I was like, not that funny. Just move on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it when I give my verdict, but there's a lot in this that seems like dialed down, sort of thing. Like compared to like That's My Boy. I know it's a different movie and stuff, and this is obviously tailored towards a younger audience rather than That's My Boy. But yeah, I feel like it kind of feels like it wanted to be so much raunchier and ruder and stupid and dumb, and then like I don't know if they reshot it or like they changed their minds, but it feels like it's dialed back. Like that moment of the centipede like dancing on the TV, I was like, that feels very
tailored to kids kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
can
for
imagine
sure.
being in the cinema and like a bunch of kids are like, he's dancing, and I'm like, shut up.
And they all stand up and start doing the thing, and you're like throwing shit at them, like, sit down!
Shut the fuck up! And then the parents turn around me and they're like, excuse me, please don't swear to my... I'm like, shut the fuck! And they start kicking the back of their chair. And, you know, as one does.
Throwing food at them. Yeah, as we do every time we go to the cinema. Yeah. Start abusing people in the cinema.
I'm at like...
And their kids.
I'm at like the newest Despicable Me film. It's bunch of kids. And I'm like, shut up! Shut up! Don't enjoy it! Shush!
You just bring like little stones to throw at the kids.
Yeah, but
like a pocket full of them.
Yeah, I bring like a popcorn bucket, but they're actually just stones that I'm lobbing at.
It's the simple pleasures in life.
Yeah. I love the cinema.
He says it is in the rocks in his pockets jingle.
Yeah. I love the cinema.
But
bang! Did you see that one? I whacked him in the head. He's crying now.
Bullseye.
Woo! 5 points.
But it's straight off the back of that like annoying thing with the thing dancing around or whatever.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler like kills it as it's trying to escape, and it almost kills this little kid who just stands there in the middle of the road looking up at it as it falls down at him. And then he destroys it before it hits the kid, and the kid's fine. And then the kid's like, who are you? Are you some special guy? And he's like, I'm just a loser who's good at old video games.
Yeah.
And then the kid's like, well, thank God for that. And I was like, come on. You're better than this.
And it's
like if Adam Sandler, the kid be like, who are you? And he's like, fuck you, kid, I banged your mom.
Yeah.
The kid's like, thank God for that.
And I did like the only redeeming factor about that bit is, again, because they're in London, the kid's got like a really
Of course, I forgot.
He's like, God blimey, who are you that saved my life?
Yeah, he does.
Well, thank God for that.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah. And bless the Queen while you're at it.
I was gonna say, yeah. And then it just fucking starts like, God save like
There she is,
the flag
old
starts
Liz.
flying.
She's come out of her ass to thank you. Oh, better bend. Better get down on one knee so you can thank the Queen. And Adam Sandler's like, oh, sorry, I he like shakes her hand and then he farts. She's like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten all those beans. And the Queen's like, oh, charming that was. Oh, I'm the Queen.
Oh, he's a refreshing sort of lad.
Yeah. Oh, I've never heard a fart in years. Thank goodness.
I'm shaking your head and I'm not even spilling my beer.
Yeah. Get out, Liz. That's the Queenie. God blimey.
Okay.
We could do this for hours.
Oh god, we could, but
Oh.
but yeah, so it kind of then goes on to all of them in the bar, and they're all celebrating that victory.
Yeah,
and you know what they're drinking? They're not drinking beer.
Yeah.
They have beer there.
They have beer.
But to be fair, I'm surprised they didn't actually bring any attention to it. But Adam Sandler just reaches over and he pulls up. Do you call it a bottle? I don't even know. Like a giant glass skull which has Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Head vodka in it. But it's weird because it's almost like product placement without it being product placement because there's no attention brought to it and there's no logos or anything.
They're just like, oh, here, like, oh, I bet I could. He's like, I bet I could drink you under the table. And she's like, no, you couldn't. And that's kind of the interaction they have. But
yeah, and they talk about getting some vodka. And then
literally they pull it out of nowhere as well. She's like, let me just grab in my bag here and slap down Dan Aykroyd's vodka.
And then Dan Aykroyd just walks past and looks at the camera and winks and he's like, Crystal Head vodka.
No, he's just in the background. Or he's like the bartender. He was like...
Oh, yeah, he's like cleaning a glass.
That's a good vodka you've got there.
What is that, Crystal Head vodka? I hear the guy that invented that is a handsome, smart individual.
I bet the Queen would drink that kind of vodka.
And then the Queen sat at the bar next to them. God blimey! That's some good vodka.
That's my favourite vodka.
I'll have to get fucked up. Get that down, you.
I feed it to my corgis. No wonder there's only one left or something. Or maybe they're all gone, I can't remember.
Oh, God, give it to the swans.
And I'm going to eat them because I'm the only one that can eat them. Did you know that? That's the law, and I haven't changed it.
She can do whatever she wants. She's above the law.
Yeah, she can do what the fuck
she literally could. I mean, it wouldn't end well anyway, but technically, yeah. So she could go to that bar and drink Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Head vodka if she wanted to. Bring the car around. I'm going to go and drink some Crystal Head vodka.
Goodbye. Come along. What's his name? Philip?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, wait, he's dead. I'll get his corpse.
Oh, poor Philip. May he rest in goddamn peace.
Yeah, in racist hell. Anyway.
Oh, let's not get into the monarchy, shall we?
We've already done
That's some kind of
politics, yeah. Anyway, so for some reason they're like, well, you two did a really good job, and we're very proud of you, but we don't think you did a good enough job, so we're going to have to get Peter Dinklage out of prison.
Yeah.
And I was like, why?
I think you mean the fire blast.
And I was like, why is he still like that? I know it's funny.
Yeah.
But I was just like, why? Because he's like, ooh. And I think Peter Dinklage's voice has been like broken from Game of Thrones because he's still got like a
you can still hear it.
British twang. Yeah, and he's like, oh, totally, totally. And I was like, ugh, why? Why would he still say that?
Why would he be in this film? Why would he do that to himself?
I was like, why?
Because his character is like, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like, his accent isn't the best, and his kind of character isn't the best. Like, I don't know. You see him and you're like,
to be like, yeah.
Man, I wish he didn't have that character. Because he's a good actor. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
But I just feel like this role didn't really do him much justice.
And I mean, like, it seems like he had fun with it and everything, but I was like, ugh. really? He's like, yeah, I want to bang Serena Williams. That's my terms. Get me Serena Williams and Martha Stewart. Yeah, I was like, weak.
Yeah.
Like, bad effort. Try again. Like, yeah, I don't know. I was just like, the whole time he was on screen, I was just like,
yeah,
this is such like 12-year-old humor.
Yeah, I think
Like,
the other characters are much better as well. Like Kevin James and Josh Gad's characters were much funnier and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just very like, he was a lot more kooky and a bit over the top and strange and yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, honestly, up to this point in the film, I was like, you know what? This is actually decent. Like, there's some rough.
Yeah, because
it's a bit rough around
I'd
the
always
edges.
seen people. All I'd seen from Pixels was people just like, this is like
worst film
the worst. This is like the lowest point in Adam Sandler's career or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
this is awful. Yeah, that picture of him where he's like got a peace sign up, but he's just really depressed after this film.
And I was like, yeah, like, to be honest, this isn't even that bad. But then the moment where they go to prison because they're like, we need this criminal to help us, even though we managed fine the first time.
Yeah.
With two of them, we need a third. So let's break out this prick. Let's make a deal with this criminal. With this prick. Let's get this prick out of prison. And he's all like, whoa, remember when I beat you? Totally tubular.
Yeah, it's like no time has passed and he's still like stuck in the 80s. He still calls the guy like silver medal or like second place and all this kind of stuff.
Like, really?
Because we find out later that he cheated to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like he even... Yeah, it's very silly.
It's just like, oh, God.
Yeah. But they have an idea that... Because they were bringing him in, I was like, right, the last two games are going to be... I kind of made a prediction there and then. I was the last two games are going to be Donkey Kong and Pac-Man.
Yeah.
But I got them the wrong way around because I was thinking, okay, we're going to have Donkey Kong as the next one and... Fire Blaster guy is going to like die, and then the last one will be Pac-Man, and that's his kind of full circle thing. But it's the other way around.
Well, because
like Pac-Man and then Donkey Kong.
Because Donkey Kong's the one like game that Adam Sandler isn't good at. So you're like,
yeah,
oh, well.
I mean, quote unquote, yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but that's the thing because it's like they make a ridiculous deal with this criminal to be like, yeah, we'll get you out of prison, and yes, you can bang Martha Stewart and Serena Williams
if they so wish. We'll set up a date with one of them.
Yeah. And I was just like, but why? Like, because he's better at Donkey Kong than Adam Sandler. You know, like the second best Donkey Kong player in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was like, what? Why bother making a? Why would the government be like? We got to break this guy out because he's the best.
We have no choice.
Yeah. We'll give him whatever he wants because, he's slightly better at Donkey Kong than this guy. And then it turns out he cheated anyway, so he's not even as good. I was just like, why? So
it's
dumb.
It's dumb. But I do like the way that they... So for all I'd seen of this film was like, where the trailers at the time, and I thought it was just the whole where they've got these ray guns, light guns, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was just kind of that where they'd just do different games like that and they'd shoot stuff and whatever. But I liked how they did kind of change it up. So Pac-Man is the next one, and they all have like they just kind of already have them retrofitted. I mean, they don't really have much warning. Or
That's
whatever,
the thing.
But they just have all of these like cars with different colors, and they've got like the cars are the ghosts, so they've got to like chase it around and stuff. And I enjoyed that kind of. It was a bit more creative, and that was quite fun. But
the thing is though, like they go because the Pac-Man one is in New York, right?
Yeah.
So they get these. Yeah. So my question is, they've had time to get 4 different colored minis. Invent an energy field thing, which is like related to the gun that they used, mount them onto the car, contact the creator of Pac-Man, explain the situation to him, convince him to drive a car and fight a giant alien, then fly him to New York. why in that time did they not evacuate the city? There's just,
oh my god, that's so true.
Like, I was just like, why? They told you where it was. Like, they told you when it was. You had all this time to like, oh shit, it's Pac-Man, so we better invent minis.
It's the same in the UK when they tell them that it's just a beer ad.
Yeah,
and then he's like, oh, what then? It's just a beer ad.
Yeah, what kind of beer ad is this? And then he's like, if I tell you it's a beer ad, it's a fucking beer ad, alright? You fucking dirty slag. I'll kill you. That's actual quote from the film.
Yeah. The Americans are like, that's the British.
Yeah. They just do the thing where they're like, I don't know what he said.
Oh, yeah. He's speaking another language.
Yeah. They're like, fuck off,
oh, fuck. Oh, I understood that one.
Oh, I don't like that word for some reason. I like all the others, but not that swear word for no reason in particular. But anyway, I was just like, also, why, like, I know it's cool because it makes it a different thing from then just shooting, like, giant pixelated aliens. But I was like, why? Why would the US government be like, yeah, we'll play to your weird Pac-Man rules, even though we've invented the thing that can the only thing that can kill you, instead of just being like, yeah, we'll meet you in New York, we've invented way more guns now, we're just going to blast you to shit. Then we're going to find the mothership and blast that to shit too.
We're going to Independence Day you.
Yeah, we're going to fuck you up, mate. They're like, oh shit, it's Pac-Man. Better get those cars. I was just like, why? Just fucking... You know, like,
yeah,
they wouldn't even have to fucking run away. The aliens are like, waka, waka, waka. They're just like, bang! Bang, 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 bang. We win. We've won.
We won. We did it. We won.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you didn't abide by the rules. We'll come and...
The rules that we set.
Yeah, the rules that we set and you didn't agree to. We'll come and fuck you up a little bit for breaking the rules. Oh, no, wait, you still have those guns. You should have invented more of them, so you just shoot anyone that comes to your planet with these light guns.
Yeah.
Instead of it fucking playing the game. I was just like, oh, why? Why
because
would you...
it's fun.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, well, it's the end of the world, but we gotta have fun with it. I was like, fucking hell.
Money isn't everything. Gotta have fun.
Yeah. Someone's like, gets their arm bitten off. They're like, ah! Money isn't everything, pal.
Fun and beers. But you know, they actually did bring in the original creator of Pac-Man, but he's not the character of him. He doesn't play himself in the thing. So it's somebody. It's like an actor who's playing the creator of Pac-Man. And when I mean, obviously I don't know who created it, so I didn't know if it was just going to be a cameo scene then. So I quickly searched up and I was like, was that actually him? And it was like, no, it's played by this other guy, but he does cameo as a repairman in the arcade. So, like, I guess maybe in the beginning in the arcade bit. Then,
oh right,
maybe.
yeah, okay.
But I'm just like, you got to hand it to Adam Sandler. Like, he always just brings in these kind of celebrities or big figures or whoever that aren't actually actors. Like, I don't think Serena Williams really acts much, does she? At all? But she was in it, you know.
Else. Yeah, and he gets Serena Williams and Martha Stewart. I thought that was just like a gag.
Like a throwaway thing.
Yeah, we can't get it. And then at the end, she's like there.
Yeah.
Like, both of them. I was like, damn. Good get. Good get. Nice one.
Yeah. Got to hand it to Sandler.
Yeah.
I thought Josh Gad was pretty funny in this. I think you kind of said this earlier because I kind of made a note saying Josh Gad's pretty funny in this. Peter is all right, but kind of weird. Because like there's a lot of things I can't remember when it is. It's when they're at this like big party ball thing, and just suddenly out of nowhere, Josh Gad, his character is like singing. What song is it? By Tears for Fears. Everyone wants to rule the world, something like that.
Yeah.
He's just like singing that suddenly, and I don't. Yeah, his character's just kind of wacky and funny. And
I mean, he's a great singer as well. I was as that was playing out, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He's a good singer. I mean, obviously he was Olaf, but I was like,
oh yeah, of course, exactly.
good chops. Good chops.
Good chops, Josh Gad.
But going back to the fucking New York bit, there are so many plot holes to get rid of. Like,
yeah, I made a note, and I'm glad that it was addressed, because it felt like something that would be, and then for a while nobody did anything about it, and I was like, oh, was it not going to? Because there's a couple times where Peter Dinklage's character cheats, basically. He just kind of you see him on the thing, and he suddenly like super speeds to a different place, and they were like, how'd you do that? And he was like, I'm just that good. And I was like, oh, so this is going to be a thing, like he's cheating, so they're probably going to forfeit it, whatever. And then they beat the Pac-Man and all this kind of stuff, and then it ends up, yes,
he did cheat.
He did cheat, and then because the aliens then, when they're having this big ball, the aliens then call up, and they're like, it's like Hall and Oates, isn't it? On the like stood by some stairs, and they're like chatting, and he's like, you cheated, so now you forfeit your entire world, and we're going to destroy all of you from these rules that we made.
Yeah.
You know,
I was like, as well, like, why? I get the fact that they know how to play Pac-Man, so that's why they're here. But I was like, why did you not get? Because they're just amazing at driving as well. They're just like drifting around New York, and I was like
proper advanced driving, like stunt drivers.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, really? Okay, like these guys are just amazing at games and also in Tokyo Drift. Like, wow. But I was just like, why would? I mean, good for them that they are good at driving. Because what if they were like, I don't know how to drive stick, and I actually don't have my license. I never learned. Don't really like driving. So I was like, why would you not get 4 stunt amazing drivers that vaguely know the rules of Pac-Man
and can be directed by somebody else?
Yeah, and being directed by someone else to just do that instead? Like, why does it have to be like? Because
that wouldn't be fun. We want our beers.
They're like,
drinking and driving.
So it's going to be Pac-Man. The plan is we've got these 4 professional rally drivers, and they're going to drive around the streets of New York, and they're like, yeah, let us do it. We got a beer, and we're going to drive the car. And they're like, yeah, all right, cool.
We know how to play the game.
Yeah. Well, these guys know they know how to play the game as well. They have played it before.
They grew up with Pac-Man, just like you did.
Yeah, they're not as good as you, but they're like, no, we're driving, woo! You know, I was just like,
we've got some Navy SEALs here who have advanced driving experience.
Yeah. For this exact type of situation, they've been heavily, specially trained.
Yeah,
they know exactly. They did the training with you earlier as well, so they've been briefed. They know exactly what to do. Whoa! Oh, Adam, come back! Okay, I guess they're doing it then.
No time to complain. Pac-Man's here now, eating things. So, but before they go do that with the whole party ball thing, like it's like a celebration thing or something. I don't remember what it is exactly.
Yeah.
But like, just before that happens, in whatever previous scene where I think they're all kind of chatting for some reason. Don't remember what it is that they're doing. But the kid is there, the kid of the mum, and he's like. Again, that's what I'm saying about him wingmanning Adam Sandler, because he's like, so you gonna go and ask my mum to the ball thing or not? Like, go over there and fucking bang my mum.
Bang my mum. Bang my mum.
Come on, yeah. I think he's he might have just looked like him, but I think he is I think he's the kid that was in Walking Dead.
Really? What, is it?
It's 2015 though, so I'm not sure. No. It's the kid who played Henry. He just looks really like him. It might be him. It might not be. Because
I stopped watching.
It's just an interesting thing because this is a complete side tangent, but it's just a quick thing. Like, so Henry's character was played by one brother who's like the younger one, and then when you have the time skip, he's then played by that actor's older brother who looks just like him but an older, and he plays the same character, and they're both also related to the girl who played Carol's daughter way back in like the first few seasons when she had a kid.
Yeah.
Like they're all related. And I think they were chosen because
of that.
Because of their relationship, and they kind of like look like her daughter and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just interesting. But they have very strong genes, like they look very similar.
Yeah.
So, but it looked like that guy. He might be. He might not be. I don't know. But the more you know. So that was that. Yeah,
like going back to the blah 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 blah. Like Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage, yeah.
He's different. Going back to
Peter Drinkage. When they're having those beers.
Oh!
Hey, Livy, where's your beer guy?
Yeah. But when it's like revealed he cheats, and he's like, yeah, I've cheated my whole life. I don't know why I'm telling you this, young child, but I cheated.
Yeah, it's like boasting to this kid.
Yeah, it's like, I cheated, and I've always cheated.
Since I was 10 years old.
I'm never gonna stop cheating. I was like, what, so no one noticed? Like, no one noticed that you had super speed in Pac-Man? Like,
when they did the
World
tournament thing, I was like, all
like,
the cameras and people were on him. Like, how did he slip a cheat? You know, if you can slip a cheat that good, you kind of deserve the cheat. I mean, I don't know.
Let him have it, mate.
Like, right in front of everyone, he just, like, enters this code and then skips something or cheats or something or invincibility or something like that.
And I also, was like...
That's some showmanship.
I was like, how did he type the cheat code? He's driving a car.
Yeah, again, I thought that, do you know what, I had that thought, and then I just unhooked that thought and let it fly, because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to dwell on that one, because it doesn't make any sense. He has the cheat code on the inside of his glasses. How is he going to do it in the car? Doesn't matter.
He just speaks it into the ether.
Yeah, he just like some like dark magic, and then go.
I was like, can he do that in all parts of life? Like, he just has super speed.
Yeah.
He's just like, left, right, up, down, left, right, left, right, press button.
And then just rockets off.
Start. And then he's just like, vroom.
Invincibility mode.
Yeah.
Break out of jail code. Yeah, that is a good point, because it's like, it's not actually a video game. They're just playing by the rules of the Alien set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's so, I don't think about it in that way. That's so weird. Because they're not in... I mean, again, unhook it.
Doesn't matter.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let that thought float away.
There's a lot of this that you just got to let go.
Yeah. But one thing that I did think, and I thought about it at the time, because like, whenever they have a victory over the aliens, I mean, they have never had a name. I don't know what you call them, the pixel aliens.
Yeah.
When they have a victory, they claim a trophy. That's like how it works for some reason. So then when they beat the Pac-Man thing, they get a Q-Bert trophy. It's the little orange dude with it's like a little orange ball with 2 feet.
Yeah.
Newt snout, like, Newt. And I thought it at the time, and it wasn't until later on when they're kind of like, when it gets out, like, oh, somebody cheated, so they're going to come and destroy everyone, and then all of the military and the army and stuff are like, you suck, to Adam Sandler, and they tell him to go away, and that he's no longer helpful, which is, again, dumb. But they're in the house, and then Q-Bert's with them, and he can, like, talk and stuff. It's kind of weird. Again, very vague what he is or how he is or anything.
Yeah.
But they're talking to him, and they're like, wait a minute, you know about your race of people because you are one of these pixel people, so you've probably got all this information, so why don't you tell us all this information? He's like, okay, sure. I'm like, what? Why did nobody think of that before? You have the military found this guy and they were like, no, we're not going to question him or like around. Try and find any information about, he's just a cute little thing. They just keep him there.
Yeah.
They literally had an alien with them and they were like, yeah, we'll just leave him. That's
and
fine.
Also, it's not really explained, like, he's a trophy, but he's just, they're like, oh, why don't you hang out with us? I'll feed you cheese balls and you can tell us all these secrets. And he's like, yeah, okay.
Because he's kind of like a kid almost, right? And I think that, I guess it kind of makes sense if you think about it, if you give them the excuses of like, where they said that the mothership was creating loads of new things to invade the Earth with. So I guess he's like a new creation, so he doesn't really... Like he has some kind of knowledge, but it behaves like a kid.
So
don't.
He's a child.
We'll come back to that. Just keep it in mind that Cuba is probably like 2 days old. Let's just keep this very forefront in our brains for now.
And that's why he's so like innocent and oh no.
Oh no.
Oh god, oh no.
Noot, noot. But yeah, so then you get the kind of big invasion that starts happening, and you have obviously lots of kind of references to things, all these old games, classic games, and all these characters coming from them and stuff. I liked how you can see a building and then all these Tetris blocks fall onto the building and delete like a level of the thing and stuff.
That was cool.
So there's like funny things like that where you're like,
nice.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I get that joke. That's cool. But they're kind of running around. So it's Adam Sandler. You've got the love interest lady. I don't remember her name. I don't remember anybody's names. You've got Josh Gad, his character, because their plan is to. Oh, and they've got the Cuba as well with them. But the plan is to go to the mothership somehow and like somehow destroy it from the inside. They don't really have a plan. They're just like, let's just go do it.
Yeah.
And they're about to be attacked by. You've got like Frogger. Because you see him like jumping over these cars and stuff again, like haha. But then it's like right in front of them, goes to jump on top of them, and they're like, "Oh no, we're gonna die!" And it gets grabbed by this crane, which actually, now I think about it, is a callback to earlier, where
a very loose callback.
a very loose callback, where Kevin James's character back in the arcade in the past. He went on the crane machine, and that was like the one thing he was good at because he picked up the Chewbacca mask, and that's why they call him Chewie because he always wore it. Because the president of the United States is for some reason sat inside this crane, ready to operate the crane at any given moment's notice for some reason. And so when this frog goes to jump on them, it gets grabbed by the crane, and then it lifts up, and he's there, and they're like, "Mr. President, whatever your name is, Chewie," and then he's just like, "I always was good with the crane." I was like, "Why are you there?"
Because
where did you come from?
He's like, "Oh yeah, they I had to wear this mask and put on the suit, the special nerd suit that we're all wearing now, because they wanted me to go in an underground bunker, so I escaped." And I was like, "How?"
Because they called them arcaders or something stupid, didn't they?
Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah,
dumb.
how is the president of the United States getting away from his protection detail?
Yeah, I was like, how did they lose him? Like, he's just like, "Oh, I'm just going out." I just gave him the slip. Yeah, I'm just going out for a pack of cigarettes, and I'm going to wear this Chewbacca mask. Bye. And he just runs off. They're like, "Sure, hope he comes back."
Also, he got that mask from somewhere, so he'd have to like get his secretary or someone. He's like, "Right, okay, I need you to, if you could grab me one of those arcade outfits in a size, like, whatever, like a size large or something, and if I could get one of those, if I could also get Chewbacca mask, that'd be great." And they're like,
well, it's
Mr.
like the
President,
one that he won. It's the one that he won.
But he still has it this whole time.
Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, so could you go to my house?"
Yeah.
And not the White House, the actual house that I live in.
I stored a bunch of stuff there when I moved to the White House.
Yeah, could you go in the loft? You have to go. It's not the main loft. It's the one that's above the garage. So you have to go into the garage, go into the loft, and in a cardboard box it says useless shit. And go into that box of useless shit, and there should be a Chewbacca mask, and then bring me that mask back.
If it's a bit dusty, just give it like a bit of a dust down and clean off.
Just shake it a bit.
Just shake it a bit. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the plastic and everything is kept up after all this time, and it's not gross.
Yeah, it's a cheap plastic, so that the plastic started to sweat. You know how it goes all like wet and gross. It does that. I kind of like it.
Clean it.
Just leave it. Leave it.
But yeah, he's just there. So then he joins them, and I think so. Josh Gad stays behind on the streets to kind of try and help out there, because Adam Sandler's like, "You got to stay here and help protect the people," but it's a whole city. I mean, I don't know. It's not like the Avengers where they can fly around, and so he's just there with one or two guns, just like shooting stuff. But fair enough. And of course, when he's on his own, and I kind of, until she turned up, I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, okay. what's her name? Lady something. I put Lady
don't
what's her
know.
face on the thing, but it's basically like this. I don't know if it's actually a thing from a game, but it's this lady who has like 2 swords and she wears like a tight red dress and she's got like long blonde hair and she's like some character from a game from back when he was younger. So like we've only ever seen her as like a pixelated, like a super pixelated character that for some reason his entire life he's been absolutely in love with, like to an actual serious degree.
Yeah.
And then she turns up and she's all pixelated and then slowly the pixels begin to disappear and she turns into a person. But she's still a pixelated thing, which implies that they could just look like people.
They just chose not
they
to.
Just, they just have all of the pixelated things, but they could, if they wanted to, look like people. But anyway, she just kind of turns up, and they just have this weird bullshit where like she's fighting him, and then he stops fighting her, and he's like, "I'm not gonna fight you anymore. If you want to kill me, then you can kill me. But I am in love with you, and I don't know." He gives her this spiel, and then she drops her swords, and then they kiss, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a joke behind it. I thought there was going to be like more of a joke. I thought he was going to do that, and then she was going to like let him stand up, and then hold his face, and then like punch him into a wall or something. I don't know. Yeah. I thought there was going to be more to it, but it was like, no. She's kissing him right now, and
she's like, "Oh,
she's smiling, and she's like, okay, "Oh, cool. You're so lovely."
Yeah, and then she fights on their side, and I was like, "What? Why? She's an alien." So
it just feels like they didn't care by that point.
He's like, "Oh, I'm dropping my guns. I'm not going to fight you," and she's like, "Oh, okay. I've just taken on this form. Like this."
And also,
what I, really
don't understand what you're saying because I'm an alien and I don't know your language.
Bye, stab. You're done.
Yeah.
You're turned into pixels or whatever I do. Bye, lol.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah. I mean, you're right. At this point, I mean, it's towards the end of the movie, and there's a lot more that you let slide.
Yeah, because you're just like you know that it's gonna. Yeah. They're gonna do the thing. It's nearly over. Let's just okay, sure, whatever. She's fine with them, fine, you know. And then they go up into the mothership because. And again, it's another reference, but I didn't get this one of this like big face of a guy who's hovering up in the air, and he's like, "The boss is ready to see you." And if you beat the boss, then you win. It's a one last chance kind of thing because for some reason we think it'd be funny.
Yeah, and I was like, wait. But they
in the middle of their world domination.
Yeah, you've already started the world domination. They've already broke the rules. You've already been like, "Yep, that's it. We're taking over." And they're like, "Oh, actually, if you beat this guy, then you can win. You can.
We'll give it to because I think they said or in general the rule was like the loser gets the other one's planet or something.
Yeah. So do they?
The winner gets the loser's planet. So I guess that they just get the Pixels guys' planet.
Yeah, they're like
at the end of the film.
Overlords.
Because spoilers, they won.
Yeah. Sorry. In case you weren't.
Yeah, in case you were really hooked. But yeah, they have that like Donkey Kong, and they have this whole thing of being like, "Oh, it's Donkey Kong, the one game that you suck at."
Yeah.
No, I was like, did he though? Because he came second place in the world. And only because the other guy cheated.
Yeah, like, literally. So, and then they say that at the end. They're like, "Oh, now admit that you cheated, so he's the best." And I was like, "Yeah, he's the best. Obviously, like he was the perfect man for that situation anyway. Had there not been no Peter Dinklage or anything, he's still good." Also, I was like, "You've already broken the rules, so just shoot him." Just go into... They're like, "Haha, you've got to play Donkey Kong and jump over there." Bang! They're like, "Oh, we've won." And no one's there in that room. No one else sees.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, we did it. Don't worry, we did it."
We shot him. These guns don't leave bullet holes. They just dematerialize them. So, we did it.
They're like, "Oh, did you complete the Donkey Kong mission and get to the top?" They're like, yeah. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, we won.
That's weird. You were only in there for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, we're good at it.
I'm just good at the game. I'm a very good climber. So,
are you sure? Are you sure there's I don't need to check the security footage, do I? Nah.
It's too late. They're already gone. We'll just leave.
We've got your planet now.
Yeah, give us your planet, please. Give me the keys to your planet, please.
But then also, they cheat anyway.
Yeah.
To win. Like, at the end, he's like, he's said, they do the girl's in trouble, and he saves the girl, and then he kills Donkey Kong
because she saves Cubert. She goes back to go and save Cubert.
Yes, she does.
For some reason, I get it, but
why?
Also, he didn't really he seemed to be fine anyway after being hit by a barrel. He went flat and then popped himself back up again. So I don't think he'd really die. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. What are the rules to this?
Yeah, but I was like, is she a gymnast or something as well? Because she's like, I'm gonna go save him, and starts doing these jumps and flips and stuff down the thing to go get him. I was just like, okay,
cool.
She's
Whatever.
Just flipping and stuff now. Fine, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like you said, his character does kind of cheat because he picks up the hammer thing, right, and throws it at Donkey Kong to kill him.
Just lobs it, and I was like, that's not how you win Donkey Kong. You can't throw the hammer. But
maybe you've been playing it wrong.
Yeah,
maybe we've been playing it wrong.
Yeah, that's why he's the best. Yeah. He's the only person in the world that realizes there's a button you can just lob the hammer.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh god, the last level of Donkey Kong is so hard. He's like, what? You just throw the hammer, mate.
Just throw the hammer, yeah.
You don't even need to jump over a barrel. You pick up the hammer and throw it. It's on auto aim.
Yeah.
It just hits him.
Automatically locks, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck's sake. Yeah. Okay. Fine. But, whatever.
Yeah, and that's kind of that, really, isn't it? It starts wrapping up. You've got the rewards ceremony where they're like, you guys are great. You beat them all. And we made a truce with all of the aliens and everything's fine.
Yeah.
And apart from poor Josh Gad, who... when all of the aliens, it's again the classic thing, you beat the boss alien, all the other alien pixel creatures all freeze in the air and go, ugh, and then just start dissipating, including Lady What's-Her-Face, Josh Gad's love of his life, who just fades away because, she's pixel stuff. Yeah. So,
he's like, no.
He's like, you guys, you all got what you wanted, and now I'm sad because I'm back to being alone and sad in my grandma's basement. Until Cubert just decides to turn into Lady What's-Her-Face, and then, without 2 seconds of thought, Josh Gad is like, cool, yeah, she's back now, and then starts making out with her. And Adam Sandler is just like, oh, guys, is this not weird? I mean, this was literally Cubert just now. Yeah. No, nobody? And everyone's just like, okay. Yeah, woo! He found the love of his life.
And remember when we were saying he's literally like a 2-day-old child? He's so innocent because he's a child. So not only is he like banging this like reformed woman, but it's actually just Cubert, and it is Cubert because later is it an after credit scene or is it just
it's kind of after credit. It's like they have the main little ending. Oh no, it's not even after credit. It just has the like end title card of like Pixels end game or whatever, and then you have it afterwards. Yeah,
because then he's like they've had kids, and it's just mini Cuberts. So he's still there. He's still Cubert. Yeah. That's his like based formula, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless they were like, oh,
like Josh Gad he gets home, and then Cubert's forgotten to turn back into the form. It's like Cubert's like looking in the mirror, and then like Josh Gad walks in, and he's like, oh god, he's like looking away. Turn back to the. Oh, no. And then turns back into the woman. He's like, sorry, dear. And he's like,
Cubert's like, why don't you love me for who I am? And he changes it. He's like, no, change back.
Because at that point, he's going through his teenage phase. So
yeah.
You don't own me. It's not a phase.
He's like, God, go back to the attractive lady.
Why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
And they are the last note I have on here is this, like, it was okay kind of the first time that he said it. So back in the mansion at the beginning, Adam Sandler, because he's saying to the woman like, "Oh, by the way, I'm a good kisser as well, and you'll never get to know that now," because she didn't want to kiss him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, she says something back. I don't remember what it was. I don't whether it's something to do with him being a nerd or whether he just says it himself. And he's like, "Nerds are the best kissers because we appreciate it more."
Yeah.
Something like that. I was like, okay, it's a bit weird, but sure. Like, let it slide because he's just saying something angrily. But then at the end, when they're getting together, and then he's like, "Well, nerds are the greatest kissers," and stuff. And I was like,
I told you, I'm the best kisser. Now hold my beer.
Kiss my beer lips.
But bad film, good?
I feel like the Adam Sandler films have to have their own genre of bad film Sandler, because I mostly enjoy it. I enjoy like the Adam Sandler stamp on films, like his kind of his weird kind of humor, like the weird kind of way that he goes about things, his characters in these films and stuff. I enjoy them. There's cheesy bits to it that really make me like, ugh. So it's not like a great film, but I do enjoy it. So it's like bad film, beer. Bad film, where's my beer?
Where's my beer,
Bad
guy?
film, Sandler, good.
I put bad film, I don't know.
Oh.
Because like going in,
It's just a mix.
I had such low expectations because of all the things that I'd heard. I was like, damn,
It's definitely nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but then my problem with it is it feels like it was meant to be ruder and it was meant to be silly. It was meant to be like a classic Adam Sandler film, and then it's just like dialed back.
Yeah,
because you have
maybe
like you said,
studio involvement stuff, but I don't know how much. I don't know who was involved. Like,
it was like, you have those bits like you said with the centipede doing the dance, and Peter Dinklage's whole character is
and just like Cuba
12,
as well.
Yeah, it's like very 12-year-old boy humor, And I was like, I just really,
I didn't
feel
like those bits. Yeah, if you took those out and changed it a bit, then
I really feel like they missed a trick because they made it like R-rated, really rude and stupid, and like when the creator of Pac-Man arms gets bitten off. That's like the only time there's any swearing. He's like, "You fucking bitch." Well, he doesn't say fuck it. He's like, "You
he just says bitch." Yeah,
and I was like, if he'd had just like bitten off his arm and there was like blood, and it was like, "Fuck you, fucking bitch."
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
I was kind of. I guess
definitely
it's
felt
bad film.
bad. And like, yeah,
Bad film disappointed because after the first, like, this is actually is decent. Then I was like, okay, this could actually be good, but then, I just feel like they missed a trick.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely watered down. I think but I think maybe just because of the subject matter, it's like, oh, it's video games. We want kids to be able to come and see it, so we can't have it to be too.
That's the other thing. I'm not sure about this, but I was wondering, like, how did they get all the IPs for this? Because at one point, Mario turns up. He's just in the background.
There'll be some. I'm not
like,
sure. There's
like,
probably some like loophole kind of things they can do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it wasn't like it was a
Nintendo
different
thing,
coloured
or...
Mario. So I wonder whether you can be
but
sneaky
then they
with
have
stuff,
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's true. That was the
Duck
whole
Shoot.
thing. Yeah.
Is it Duck Shoot? Whatever it is.
Again, it depends. It depends. Like, I don't know. Maybe because of the version. Like,
I'd be interested to know.
Yeah.
But
because Nintendo are infamously difficult to work with.
Yeah. And especially after like the Super Mario Brothers, they're like, fuck this! I'm never making another film until, Detective Pikachu, I guess, and then Sonic.
Yeah, that's true. But who knows? Maybe they just offered them a placement like Dan Aykroyd and his vodka.
Yeah, product placement in the weirdest way.
Yeah. So that was the whole thing, I guess. I suppose the next thing to do is to have a look at what other people think, because we've heard what we think, but now we want to hear, for example, what Jake F thinks from the audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so Jake F, who gave it 0.5 stars in March 2021, so this current year, saying, "Of course the typical inbred Sandler suckers love this piece of shit movie." Well, he says POS, but, you know.
Oh, yeah.
"They'll like anything with fart noises. I wouldn't watch this movie again if you paid me."
Wow.
Some strong opinions. I mean, I depending on the fart noises for me personally.
Yeah, it depends.
You know,
Depends
it
on
might
what
be funny,
context.
it might not be. Yeah, it depends. It really does depend on the context. So, and then I had another review from a person who had just had no name. It was just blank. He gave it 3 stars from November last year, saying, "Funny, but needs more Peter D." That's it.
Okay. I mean, you like what you like, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that guy's 12.
I wanted more Peter D.
He was funny. I liked it when he said totally tubular.
I liked him in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
My favourite bit with Peter Dinklage is where he sees that his brother and sister are having sex. Full frontal nudity sex that I've watched as a 12-year-old.
Because I have access to the internet.
Yeah.
What
Anyway.
an age we live in. But anyway, yeah, give me some of your reviews.
Well, I got 2 this week, just because this
Did you draw
one-
from IMDb?
Yeah. As always, IMDb. This is from Waldo Dado, and it doesn't have a rating, but it just says, "Booze. I saw a lot of booze in this kids' movie. Vodka, whiskey, all over the place. Weird."
Oh, that's it? Just weird?
That's it.
There's no, that sounds like he's going to have a strong opinion on that.
Yeah,
but
it's like, kitchen
weird.
wash. This weird. I don't know. Weird. And then this one is from His J-Man. This is in 2015, so when this came out. And the premise of this movie is sure to please anyone who was alive in the 80s, with a love of games, nostalgia, and even 80s cameo appearances. It's a fairly clean movie too, with some nice surprises. I haven't laughed so hard in a long time. And when Ludlow, I think that's Josh Gad's character, is it?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not sure.
think so. I think so, yeah.
When Olaf tries to give a pep talk to the soldiers, a refreshing point. That was a comma, by the way, so he's just carrying on. A refreshing point is also that we aren't treated with the typical feminazi nonsense you would expect to see in an exchange between male and female lead characters.
What?
To see a male fire some stinging one-liners right back at a woman, sniffing both the class divide and hypergamy as well, is not the trend Hollywood usually pushes. It was a nice change.
What?
There is also a tiny jab at Obama near the end of the movie. You have to listen carefully to catch it, as some of the political jokes will fly over people's heads. The nerd jokes will also fly over people's heads. Not really.
No.
Who are not familiar with the culture. It's definitely a good movie. Ignore the politically correct, out-of-touch haters. If you are easily offended by Adam Sandler-esque insults, slight crude humor, or if you're expecting a serious movie, this is not for you. So he did that. He gave it 1 star.
What?
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
1 out of 10. Does he think it works better? Like 1 is the
The
best,
other way around,
10's
yeah.
the worst?
One is the top number. One's on
Seeing
top.
all these. It's like got really good reviews. There's those of 10 stars. You're like, what's everyone talking about? 10 stars? I thought it was great. 1 star. I just thought it was
God
funny.
damn it.
The whole feminazi thing, and then the fact that he gave it 1 star. But yeah, look, we talked about some dumb shit about the film, but should we talk about some real life dumb shit?
Yeah. Hit me with a real life dumb shit story.
Well, look, this is less of a story, more of some advice for any younger listeners. Listen to this. Who are we kidding? No one listens to this.
Hey, there it is. Hey.
But so it's about when I said my first swear word in front of my parents.
Ooh,
I
big
remember-
moment.
Yeah, I remember we were on a beach and I can't remember what had happened. I was like angry. We were playing a game and I was losing, so I was throwing a bit of a tantrum as you do when you're 15. No.
When you're 23.
Yeah. This was last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I said like, fuck off, or something like that. And of course, I mean, I was pretty young. And of course, my mum, especially, she was like, what? How do you, like, what? How dare you swear? That's not what we do. Where'd you even learn this? Where'd you even learn that swear word from? And now this is the advice given. Because when you're in this situation, you've sworn in front of your parents, here is the best thing to do. Because I said, it's my sister. She's poisoned my mind.
What?
I was like,
Oh, you manipulative child.
I was like, yeah, it's all her fault. She's swearing all the time. I've learned it from her. And then my mum found it so funny that I'd like said she's poisoned my mind. That she was like, yeah, fuck it. I just don't even care.
I thought you were going to say that you're going to turn around and be like, I got it from you, Mum. And then what's she going to say?
Yeah. It's your fault, you damn bitch.
You've poisoned my mind. You slag.
She's like, yep, fair enough. Let it slide.
You win this time, child.
But yeah, that's about everything we've got for this week. Next week we're going to be doing the Emoji Movie, which you can see on Amazon Prime if you want to keep up to date with us and watch before you listen.
Yep, if you want to watch that movie.
Yeah. Well, I thought this would be bad. And it
yeah,
was
exactly.
Right, so
exactly.
You never know.
I've definitely heard worse things about this film.
TJ Miller said this was the pinnacle of comedy, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do want to keep up to date with us, see what we're getting up to, you can follow us at Bad Film Good, all one word, on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to get in touch with us and send us your own funny stories,
send us your beers.
Send us your beers, guy. Yeah, take off your clothes.
But yeah, you can send that to badfilmgood@gmail.com.
Just the beers, please. No, not the
yeah, not the stories.
not the
just
quiz.
send us beers.
the stories of the beers. Okay, not the quiz.
But yeah, so if you want to help support the show, a really good thing would be to tell a friend, and if you could give us a 5-star review on your chosen podcast platform, that would be really good. Please, we're so desperate.
Please give us a 5-star review, guy.
Give us a beer, guy. Give us 5 beers out of beer, guy.
But yeah, that's just about everything. As always, we'll be leaving you with an inspirational quote from Inspirobot, which is a randomly generated sentence slapped over a randomly generated image. Do you want to do yours first, or should I do mine?
I can go with mine. So
nice.
Mine is like it's a nice snowy covered town. Actually, it kind of looks a bit ruined. I mean, there's definitely some ruins there, and it's somebody stood there in their heavy kind of jacket and boots and stuff. They look. I don't know if it's just the way their trousers are. It makes them look like they've got really short legs. Like it looks like a kid, but it might just be like the perspective. I think their feet might be far down in the snow as well, because it's very, very snowy, and it just gives a definition for Sagittarius. In brackets, November 22nd to December 21st. Fun, loved by everybody, probably named Simon or something. That's it.
I hope you're inspired by the definition of Sagittarius.
Let us phone us in if your name is Simon. Phone into this recorded podcast if your name is Simon and you're a Sagittarius or something.
Well,
Where the Simon's at? Carry on.
I've got a bit of advice for Simon. I just want to tell him that, well, this is a watercolor. It's someone painting a lovely watercolor, with the paint dripping down the page. It looks very nice. And it says, try to be the reason your wife gives birth to a baby. Try to be the reason your
Try not to get cucked, basically.
Yeah. Don't get cucked, everyone. Don't get
Try
cucked,
to
Simon.
actually be the father to your wife's child.
Yeah.
If you can.
If you can. Don't worry if you can't, but
Just try.
if the opportunity's there, you should take it.
Yeah.
All right.
Brilliant.
Thanks for listening. We'll
Yeah,
see
that's
you
about
next
everything.
week. Yeah.
We'll see you then.
Yeah.
See you guys. I'll see you guys next week for some more beers.
Have a beer on us, guy. Yeah, skibbity bip boo.
That's my voice. All right, bye.
Bye.